Well, hello. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, and I hope you're recovering from your Thanksgiving at this point. This video is a little bit more of a serious topic, and much like the Ukraine war video that I had, prophetic dream about the Ukraine war video that I had said earlier in an earlier video. This is a similar video, but this one happened. I think it was somewhere around May of 2023. So this happened earlier this year. And this is a prophetic video about about future terrorist attacks in the United States. And I guess I'll get into the dream what I saw, but basically what I saw in the dream was much like the Ukraine video. I was very disturbed in this video while I was sleeping, and it was kind of a vision within a dream is the best way I would describe it. And what I saw was a bunch of military people, or it was, I shouldn't say a bunch, it was like one, I think it was two military people, or two people that were dressed fully, dressed in body armor, somewhat in fatigues and stuff like that. And basically they were running into a very public place with a lot of people, and they were attacking. They were with automatic weapons. They were shooting people, and they, as well, they had explosive devices. So they were either pipe bombs or they were grenades or something like that. And they were going into public places that was here in this country, and they were attacking people. And large explosions and automatic weapons fire and that kind of thing. And and these were. I could feel what I felt in the dream with these people was that they were very desperate, and they knew that this was a very desperate attempt to kill as many people as possible. And I could literally feel what they were thinking, and feelings as far as their thoughts and the desperation and the hopelessness of what they were experiencing when they were doing this. And it was basically, I went and I basically rebuked it after I had the dream, because I felt it was so horrible in feeling what they were feeling. It just made me, and I just started rebuking it in the name of Jesus. But it was a prophetic dream. And I think, in my opinion, this is not from God, but I do think that this could happen if after the 2024 election, the presidential election. So if I don't know if Trump is going to get in. I don't know if who exactly. They might put somebody else in for the Democrats, or who knows at this point what could happen at that juncture of who will actually get in office.
Sparked by the police killing of George Floyd could lead to the highest insurance payout of its kind in history. The protests in late spring were mostly peaceful, but damage from looting and arson will cost $1 to $2 billion in claims. That's according to the Insurance Information Institute, and that would eclipse the previous high, the 1992 riots that followed the acquittal of 4 officers in the beating of
So
Rodney
this could happen
King.
during that, and as much as in the same vein as Antifa and BLM were having these very large attacks and burning things down during when Trump was in the administration. And this is not about Trump or anything else. It's just to show the fact that this is this type of warfare that is and what I want to say, because this also was made clear to me, is that these attacks, when they're large attacks, were being targeted towards African American and minority communities. So these attacks will be targeted towards African Americans and minorities, and the whole goal of what these attackers are going to be doing is to attack minorities, to trigger a civil war in the United States between races and between white people and black people and different minorities. So this is the attempt of what these people are trying to do. So, and a lot of these people that are doing these attacks are mentally ill, but there's also people behind them that know the attacks are going on, and that's the really disturbing part of all of this stuff. And so anyway, so the that's the goal of what they're trying to do. And these people are the attempt of the people behind these people are to start a civil war in the United States. And to do some very, very bad things. And if you guys remember, um, you know, in 2020, what happened was that obviously January 6th happened, but for 2 years, 3 years after that, what the FBI was saying was that there's going to be, all these white extremist attacks that are going to happen, and it's going to be, um, we heard 3 years of that is going to happen, and it never really happened. And so the media and the FBI were constantly putting out the fact that the most serious threat in the United States are white, extremists that are racist extremists that are trying to attack everybody, which is not the truth, honestly. And I'm not a white supremacist. I don't care about any of that stuff. But I'm just saying that's what the media had talked about and reported all these things, and they said that is the biggest threat, and they're going after bombs in schools because they were going after the critical race theory and all that. So, anyways, if these people are successful, there's going to be a series of these attacks, and if they're successful, they're going to start a civil war in the United States, and the whole idea is to abolish the Constitution and declare martial law. And at that point, the UN troops will be brought in, and probably a lot of these people will be Chinese and from totalitarian governments that are, with the whole idea is to basically to destroy freedom in America and freedom in the world itself, so that there can be rule by people that are very despotic and very evil in their intentions. And the whole idea, even the Hunger Games was I think was derived from some of these World Economic Forum policies, their white papers and things. So the whole idea will be to basically destroy freedom in the United States, take any type of action, and anybody, if you're patriotic, you love your country, that basically you're the enemy, and they're, much as people like this were demonized for the last 4 years in America. And I was going to say as well, think about how effective BLM was, and I'm going to show a video of the, just during the riots, but billions of dollars of damage, and just the sheer panic and terror that it caused the population to feel that they can't, basically, you cannot protest, any of these type activities. And a lot of it was essentially, these leaders did not take the billions of dollars they got from the corporations that were paying into them, that were World Economic Forum paid corporations, or they had gotten loans from it. So this was all funding that didn't go to black communities. It never went back into it. It was very, basically it was used to build the leaders' houses, and they used to fund multiple houses they would do it. And it didn't go to Boys and Girls Clubs. It didn't go to rebuild what was damaged during the riots and the burning and looting and all that stuff. And so the way I will say this is that we need to think about it as when they were saying that that white extremism is the most dangerous thing in America, they were basically prepping the country for what's going to happen in the future. So once these attacks start happening, these multiple attacks where they start killing, what they're trying to do is kill hundreds of black people, hundreds of minorities at one shot, to basically start the Civil War. And then they'll say, well, it's your fault, you did this, and that's what they're attempting to do. That's what my dream, that's what the showed, and that's this prophetic dream, and that is what the feelings, even inside of me, as I was dreaming, I was actually the killer doing this stuff. And so I know that's where God put in my heart that this is what they're going to do. This is literally what people are trying to do, and that they'll demonize white people as the country basically burns. And not that I'm not advocating white supremacy, and I'm not, I love all people. I don't care what color you are. I just want to stop this. I don't want this to happen. So, so anyways, I lived a mile away when they had the Buffalo Top shooter. I used to go to that supermarket, and I lived a mile away from that. My apartment was a mile away from there. So when I I had a premonition of the attack before it happened, and I knew that that was what was going to happen. And so, within a few hours, the attack happened. That this person at the FBI, a former FBI official, was watching online, and many other people. There was a bunch of people watching this guy online. He said within an hour, he's going to go shoot up a store, and sure enough, he did. And so I don't know why the FBI official. I guess the FBI is investigating the FBI official that didn't stop the shooting. So we never heard anything about what it actually was all about. So, but so in my mind, that's what these things are coming. This is what has to be. We have to pray that these attacks are stopped, and we have to, in any way we can, try to peaceably stop these attacks from happening. And so, these are these are the things I'm speaking on. And in Esther chapter 3, starting in verse 1, it says, because I really want to share scripture, because I think God has to be the one that intervenes in this whole affair. It says in Esther chapter 3, verse 1, after these things, King Ahasuerus, I can never say that, promoted Haman the Agagite, the son of Hammedatha, and advanced him and set his throne above all the officials who were with him. And the king's servants who were at the king's gate bowed down and paid homage to Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai did not bow down or pay homage. Then the king's servants who were at the king's gate said to Mordecai, why do you transgress the king's commands? And why do you speak to him day after day, and he would not listen to them? They told Haman in order to see whether Mordecai's words would stand, for he had told them he was a Jew. And Haman saw that Mordecai did not bow down or pay homage to him. Haman was filled with fury, but he disdained to lay hands on Mordecai alone. So as he had made known to him the people of Mordecai, Haman sought to destroy all the Jews, the people of Mordecai, throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus. In the first month, which is the month of Nisan, the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast pur, that is, they cast lots, before Haman day after day, and they cast it month after month until the 12th month, which is the month of Adar. Then Haman said to King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among your people, in all the provinces of your kingdom. Their laws are different from those of every other people, and do not keep the king's laws, so that it is not to the king's profit to tolerate them. If it please the Lord, let it be decreed that they be destroyed, and I will pay 10,000 talents of silver into the hands of all the people who have put in charge of the king's business, and they may put it to the king's treasury. So the king took the signet ring from his hand, and he gave it to Haman the Agagite, the son of Hammedatha, the enemy of the Jews. As the king had said to Haman, the money is given to you, the people also, to do with them as it would seem good to you. The king's scribes were summoned on the 13th day of the first month, and an edict according to all that Haman had commanded was written on the king's satraps, and to the governors of all the provinces, and to all the officials of all the peoples, to every province of its own script, and every people in its own language. It was written in the name of King Ahasuerus, and sealed with the king's signet ring. Letters were sent by the couriers to all the king's provinces, in instruction to destroy, kill, and annihilate all the Jews, young and old, women and children, in one day, the 13th day of the 12th month, which is in the month of Adar, and to plunder their goods. So here's the command that went out, and we know that Haman had this evil plot. Basically, because of his lineage, he wanted to destroy the Jews. There was hatred between his descendants, and which basically the Israelites were told to wipe out when they came into the Promised Land, and the Jews. And so, today in a lot of our culture, there's an attack against people that of God, basically, and it's a very serious attack. This is what they're trying to go against God. These people are very publicly have stated, whether it be World Economic Forum and different people involved with that, they're publicly stated that they are God. This is on their website, even on their Twitter page, and they're doing everything they can do to try to stop this. And so these attacks that I was telling you about, this prophetic dream, is a very serious matter. And also want to say that if there's anybody that, there have been people that plotted against me to throw me under the bus while even using this information. And, if you're trying to predict these attacks, it's not going to work. God is smarter than you, and he's proven it. So I just want to say that, just to put that out there for those people. And so I pray. I think the whole goal of this all is to pray for for deliverance of God's people and people everywhere, because the times that are coming are very serious. And I pray that God exposes these things going on and that these attacks do not happen. But just like the attacks happened in the prophetic word I shared earlier about Ukraine, I put that as a note just so that people knew. But so these are future attacks that are going to happen, and I just want to prepare people for it, and help people are sober, but as well that they're praying to God about this election and what's coming up and what's coming after that. So anyways, I thank you for listening, and I pray you subscribe to, hope you subscribe, and that you enjoy the content as a little serious as this one is. So hope to see you soon. Thank you.